Today we're going to be talking about what it really means to ascend into the 5D. There's a lot of nonsense out there on this topic, and I want to clear up any confusion that there happens to be about it and let you know exactly what's involved and what you need to be focused on. First of all, one of the misunderstandings I had when I was starting to be spiritually curious, but I wasn't really connected with my inner wisdom yet, I heard people talking about this concept, and I thought that people thought, I didn't believe it, but I thought that they thought they were going to be leaving the 3D, which is our material, physical world, and moving into a space where they're 5D, just consciousness. Consciousness is something we can't see, right? We can see our bodies, which hosts or personifies our consciousness, some of it anyway, but we can't see our consciousness. So our consciousness exists in the 5D. And my thought was, well, people are talking about losing our bodies down the road, 100 or 500 years from now, not being physical beings, but just conscious beings. And here's the problem with that. We already are 5D beings when we're not incarnated on the planet. There's no sense in having a beautiful physical planet like Earth for us to be on if we're not going to be in a physical body and able to experience it through our senses. There would be no sense in that. When you are not on this planet, you exist as a beautiful 5D higher consciousness being, a divine being of love and light. You might think of higher consciousness as angels or spirit guides. There's a lot of words that people use, but we are not of a body. We're not in the 3D when we're not on the planet living a life. I don't know where this concept of ascending into the 5D came from, but I can tell you how to make it make sense. Because we're not leaving our bodies. We will always have bodies in the 3D while we exist on planet Earth. That's part of the beautiful experience, to see the sunshine and nature and feel it on your skin and the tastes and all the beautiful things that our senses bring to us. That's part of the human experience. We're not giving that up. However, the next chapter of our evolution, we are meant to raise our consciousness, and that's already started. There aren't very many of us who have reached our highest ascension point, which is the highest frequency, emotional frequency that you're meant to reach in this lifetime. But once you get to that point, your divine aspect or higher consciousness or inner wisdom, your intuition, whatever you call it, that divine part of you will help you raise your consciousness. Now, let me describe what that means. When we talk about consciousness, we're talking about your conscious awareness. Now, consciousness exists on many levels, and there are levels like your subconscious that we're not aware of, and your higher consciousness, which we're trying to become more aware of, right? That's our divine GPS that we're trying to tap into for guidance. But your conscious awareness is what we're talking about. And when you get to your highest ascension point, your divine consciousness will help lift your conscious awareness, your awareness, who you think you are. They will help lift your awareness into resonating more with those higher frequency emotions. You will be more aware of compassion and unconditional love. This will be your conscious awareness. You won't continue to experience the really dense, heavy, low, what I call base emotions that we don't enjoy feeling, like anger or grief or despair. You'll still experience a range of emotions, but they won't go as deep. You'll experience discontent or irritation maybe, sadness maybe, but it won't be as deep and as painful as what most people are experiencing right now. So when you raise your consciousness, There's this beautiful experience of the better, happier, more joyful emotions waiting for you. And there's more compassion and unconditional love. And this is what people are referring to when they talk about the 5D experience. You'll be resonating in those higher emotions that we are meant to be moving into and having more awareness of how we're really meant to be functioning in community with compassion and love for our fellow humans, taking care of one another. So this is how we're going to move into what many people call the new earth. I've been guided to call it the golden new era. It's the next chapter for humanity, for our evolution into a beautiful new next phase where all of the people on the planet care for one another. Can you imagine? That will be paradise. It will look a lot like the planet does now, with no pollution, no violence or wars, but we'll love and take care of each other and live in community. That is the new era and the next stage of our evolution that we're moving toward. So I invite you to lean in to learn more about raising your consciousness, raising your frequency, because this is the first step. We all need to raise our consciousness, which is that ascension into 5D awareness. Raise your consciousness so you will be guided to help co-create this new existence. Divinity's already here to help us. They're trying to guide us, but most of us aren't listening. So we're going to link a couple of videos and comments to help you with your ascension journey. I encourage you to check them out. And don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.